Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today let's go over a premium hard database question that I just solved on my own. So I'm super happy about this and I'm very glad that I was able to come up with my own solution to this question without any help. So let me show you how I did it and let's go over it. This is 3188 Find Top Scoring Students 2. So basically we want to find all the student IDs that fulfill these three criteria. Okay, so there's a lot of information here, so we're just going to break this down one by one. First, we want to make sure they've taken all the mandatory courses, achieved a grade of A. So let's actually get this first, and let's try to take care of it. So notice we have the course IDs here, and then the students and their major. So let's first take care of that. Let's call this major is a dictionary, and let's just do for I, S, and enumerate students. So let's do student ID because the student ID is used here and then here, here, and then here. So we're just going to say major of S equals to students major of I. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to find all the students and what they took. So let's call this taken. So all the courses they took. Let's do a default dict of type set. Okay, so then let's just do for enrollments. Students ID, so taken of E, we're going to add enrollments, course ID of I. Cool, so now we know what the student took. And then for the grades, let's actually use a composite key. So the student ID in the course, we're going to check if the course mandatory or not for the major. So the student's major, let's call this mandatory. Let's call this major major non-mandatory. Dict of type sets. Let's do that because we're just going to add all the ones that are fulfilling mandatory or not based on this right here, which is supposed to be a capital letter. So actually, let's go ahead and do that for the courses. So for I, C, and enumerate courses, course ID, or let's just do courses major. So let's just say, so if courses mandatory of I is equal to yes, it's either a yes or no. So in that case, it's a yes. So we can just say major mand of C. So that particular major, we're just going to add the course ID. So that's going to make it easy to check it down here with this other major. Otherwise, let's say major non-mand of C. We're just adding that course ID from the enrollments table. We're saying this is yes, so we're adding this to the major mand. No, we're adding this to the major non-mand from this as the key in major mand or major non-mand because that's the major, right? So, okay, so now let's go ahead and keep track of, so taken, let's keep track of what the student has done. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so taken, student ID is taken that, but their grade, let's do grade is default dict or just the dictionary. And then in the enrollments table, we're just going to say the student and the course ID. So the student ID, the course ID is enrollments course ID of I. So we're just going to say grade SID CID is equal to the grade itself, so enrollments grade of I. Okay, so now we basically have what we need, because we can just go through the grades, and we're just going to, what I did was I set a dictionary, and basically we just want to eliminate all the students that are at least violating some of this criteria. So now we can go ahead and check this. So we can say, well, so the actual SID CID is G of 0, G of 1, and the major is just going to be major of the SID. That's why this is why I made better variable names, so it's easy to just retrieve the information we need. So now that we have the major SID, we can go ahead and say, okay, so for this particular grade, so for this current major, manned and non-manned are just going to be major manned of major, major non-manned of major. So in this case, if the grade, so let's call this letter grade is grade G. Good variable names, right? Make our life easier. So if letter grade is, so achieved a grade in A in all mandatory courses. So if, first of all, if letter grade is not equal to A and letter grade is not equal to B, then it has to be a C, D, or an F, right? In that case, we can just automatically set the student ID saying bad. So we're out, already out. And then now we're just going to check if the current course ID is in major manned and the letter grade is not equal to an A. Again, result SID is equal to bad. And let's go ahead and print result. Major non-manned. At the end, let's just return a data frame for now, just so we can at least see some of the test cases. Result of SID is bad. Letter grade is not equal to A, and letter grade is not equal to B. If the course ID is in major manned, is in manned. Let's do this. Okay, there we go. So you can see 2 and 4 are both bad. And then last but not least, the students' averages, which I didn't even check, but it just passed all the test cases. That's fine. Let's just go ahead and do this for now. Let's just say for IS in enumerate student ID, if S is in result, then we're already assuming it's bad, right? So if, let's call this answer. If S is not in result, then it must be good by that logic, right? So then answer.append S, answer.sort. Let's just call this F is a data frame, set F. So the student IDs need to be sorted ascending order, top to bottom, as it says in the requirements, and then just return F. So let's try this. Okay, submit it. So that's fine, but also we need to make sure the average GPA is at least 2.5. So, okay, and, well, we left a bunch of stuff out because taken all the mandatory courses and at least 2 elective courses. So, first of all, if let's call this student took is going to be taken of SID. So first of all, the mandatory courses, if not, man dot is subset of student took, meaning there's something in here. They didn't take one course that is in mandatory. Then we can just go ahead and do the same thing. And just work with this one by one. And then also, if not, so let's say size is bigger than or equal to 2, because the size is just going to be the intersection, so length of the current elective courses. So student took dot intersection with non-man has to have at least in 2 common, right? Then same thing is equal to bad. Intersection, so this is a set, and non-man is also a set. Student took, yep. Oh, get rid of this. Okay, let's submit it. Okay, and there you go. Passes all test cases. So again, I didn't even check the GPA average. I think that might have been filtered out by this because 2.5 is less than a B. So B at the very least is 3. I don't know, but either way, again, I'm super happy that I was able to come up with my own solution to this question without any help and solve it completely on my own. So that's it for this video, and thank you for watching.